All right, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Forward Thinking Founders, where we talk to founders about their companies, their visions for the future, and how the two collide. Today, I'm very excited to be talking to Jonathan Woahn, who's on the founding team of Bookclub. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Good. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you having me here.
Yeah, excited to have you on, learn more about what you're working on. For people that haven't heard of Bookclub, what is it? What are you working on?
So Bookclub, we are creating celebrity moderated, author-led virtual book clubs. So I think the kind of easiest way to kind of mentally wrap your head around what we're building is think of the Oprah book club model, where you have Oprah, who is a celebrity, she's an influencer, she's got an audience, and she has a book club where she selects books every month. And then she announces that book, she announces it on her show, it becomes like this huge instant bestseller, it's on all the best-selling lists, right? And then all these people buy the book, they read it together over the course of a month, and then Oprah invites them into her home or to her ranch. She films some video content, and then it gets published and pushed out to, Apple Plus. We are effectively democratizing this idea and bringing in this idea and really just trying to open it up, because we believe that there are, a lot of opportunity to have people who, other celebrities who have other interesting genres and other voices and perspectives that could be interesting to have, and then building book clubs around those voices.
So walk me through, I guess, any perspective that you want, but let's say I was a reader, a fan of a book, right? Walk me through or a reader of a book, I guess, more say. Like, walk me through what the user experience would be like if I wanted to get in a book club with Oprah. I mean, how does that even work? Like, what a cool opportunity. Like, can you walk through the user experience here?
Yeah. So one of the people who we have contracted with is Barbara Cochran. So people know her from Shark Tank, the TV show. And so she's actually going to be leading a book club with us on entrepreneurship, of all things you might anticipate. And so these are some of the suggestions that she's had. We are still in the process of contracting and finalizing details, but some of the authors she has wanted to bring onto her club are like Phil Knight, right? CEO from Nike and his book. Damon John, another shark who she has a really good relationship with, and so the idea is that, Barbara is known in this world of entrepreneurship. She has a huge fan base, a lot of people who just love Barbara. They love her approach. They love, her as a mentor. And so basically what happens is Barbara, she has this theme of her club, which is entrepreneurship. And she identifies the books that have influenced and impacted her life, the ones that have helped to shape her and her perspective on how she thinks about entrepreneurship. And so the idea is that she then selects these books, we announce them on our book club platform. And then what we do is we actually bring Barbara and the author into our studio, and we create masterclass style content and conversations between the author and Barbara Cochran. And so then what will happen is the book gets announced, and then over the course of the month, we have a number of different video assets that we release into the club over the course of the month that help to guide and push the conversation along. And so the idea is that, over the course of the month, let's say that Shoe Dog, the Phil Knight Shoe Dog was the book for the month of, what month are we coming into? April. So then over the course of the month, as a reader, I know what book is coming up. I can read it, and as there's video content that's getting released into the community, I can participate in the events that are happening through the month. I can watch the video content. There's discussion guide questions to help kind of think more deeply and think about, what are the things that Phil Knight wants his readers to be thinking about as they're reading the book? What are the kinds of questions and insights that they can take from it? And so then the idea is that as a reader, you're going through this experience together with Barbara, with Phil, with the community. There's conversation happening there, and there are opportunities to engage in live events through our platform with both Phil, with Barbara, as the month goes on, in addition to this content. So really, we are really trying to lean into this club idea, right? This idea that you join book club, you become part of this club, you get access to content, materials, people who, not being part of the club, you wouldn't otherwise get access to.
So walk me through a little bit of the origin story here. Where did the idea come from? How did you kind of get started with this? And tell me about kind of the early days of doing this.
Sure. So the idea for Book Club actually started with our CEO, David Blake. David Blake, he founded another company called Degreed. And Degreed is the world's one of the largest learning platforms. They serve half of the half of the largest companies in the world. And basically what Degreed does is it helps organizations to understand how their people learn. Where do they learn skills? What are they learning? What resources are they using? And so there were two key insights that Dave had through his experience with Degreed that led to the formation of Bookclub. The first was that people learn more from books over the course of their lives than they do from any other platform. And so, and that means that's like including college, that's including, journalists, that's including like any other kind of formats that people learn from. Books are the number one place that people learn by a factor of 6.5 times more. That was the first insight. The second insight was that category leaders in education technology have been created using a very simple common formula. And that formula is creating a scalable platform for category content creators to scale their expertise. So by that, what I mean is think of like Masterclass. Masterclass has allowed lifestyle experts to scale their expertise. Udemy has allowed business professionals. Udemy, Udacity have allowed business professionals to scale their expertise. Coursera has allowed college professors to do the same thing. Pluralsight has allowed software engineers to do this. The Skills has allowed athletes to do this, right? And so this formula exists. And so if you take these two insights, this formula of platforms for content creators to scale their expertise, and people learn more from books than anywhere else, then that makes authors the largest category of content experts. And then you say, where is the platform for authors? And the top 3 results, if you search for an author, you search for a book title that come up on Google: Amazon, Audible, Goodreads. Goodreads, you connect with the community. Audible, you listen to the book. Amazon, you buy the book. But it's not to connect with the author. It's not for an educational platform. And so that's really where the idea came, is that's what we see creating with Bookclub, is we want to create the largest learning platform for these conversations to be able to take place with authors. We've each had books that have influenced and changed our lives. And that's really what we're looking to build with Bookclub, is, the world's largest learning platform, and help facilitate, life-changing conversations.
Yeah, this is awesome. I think the insight is spot on, and I think this could be a giant company, which is awesome. Again, I'm kind of curious, if you were to like zoom out of what this could be, zooming out like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, what does this company look like then? Or I guess in other words, what's the big vision here, and what direction are you rowing in as you build this out every day?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we are looking to build the largest online e-learning platform, and be able to create a home for not just the top authors or a few authors to be able to glean value from, but we're looking to build that home for all authors to be able to come. They can create. There's an opportunity for them to create content, to be able to connect with readers, to be able to have a way to really expand their audience. And for readers, I mean, if people are learning more from books than anywhere else, let's give that platform a home. Let's make a home for book-based learning on the internet, and really help to structure and formalize, book-based learning across the board. Education across in general is being heavily disrupted over the last 10, 15 years. And I think we're only going to continue to see that become more and more the case. And Bookclub has an opportunity to help play a big part in that, disruption and unbundling of traditional education.
And in order to make that happen, make the vision come to life, you'll need some help, right? It takes a village to make a startup work. So my question for you is, how can the forward-thinking founders community help you? Are you hiring, looking for, investment? Are you looking for authors or readers? How can we assist here?
The answer to all those questions is yes. Yes, we are hiring. The company, this is the 5th startup I've been a part of. I've never seen something get so traction so quickly and move so fast. So we are hiring like crazy. You can check out our website, bookclub.com. We've got a lot of positions that are listed there. We are actually moving into our Series A funding round right now. And so we're having early conversations there. So that is moving forward. And then at the end of the day, we're looking to launch on April 20th. is when we're going to have, it's going to be a invite only launch, but we're looking to have people come and register and get a part early on to be get those invites. And of course, authors. At the end of the day, that is really who we see are delivering the most value for. And so if there are authors who are part of the community, or people who've written books and who are looking for opportunities to grow their user base and to grow their reach to readers, we would love to talk to you.
And then if someone, is interested on any of those fronts, how can they find you online? What's your website one more time? Do you have social media handles? Do you have an email address? How can people reach out?
So the website is easy. It's bookclub.com. And as far as reach out to us, we've got, depending on what it is, each of those sections are called on our website. And we have a email for authors at bookclub.com. We have an email for career opportunities, careers at bookclub.com. It's all there on the website.
And then for my last question, I never asked this, but I'll ask you, what's your favorite book? Or at least right now, what is a book that you're enjoying or is top of mind? Because I know it obviously changes all the time, of course.
Oh man, it does. And I had a goal this year to read a book a week, and so I've had a lot of chance to read some really interesting books. Within the last couple of reads, I've read a book called Multipliers. I read one called Unconscious Bias. I read Dune, which I had never read previously. But my favorite book of all time is Ender's Game. It's a book that I read when I was in my teenage years, and I read it about once a year since then, and I think I learn new lessons every time I read it. It just keeps getting better and better every time I read it. So I think it's just a phenomenal book. Orson Scott Card.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you having me.